Hello, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm your host, Courtney Bloomer. Today's show is brought to you by Sassafras Eclectic Food Joint. Join Sassafras on Mother's Day for their Brunch and Bingo with Bee fundraiser for this year's Sassabration event. Tickets are $50 and there are 2 seatings. Visit Sassafras or check out the number on your screen to get tickets for this great event. Our guest today is here from Western Nevada Musical Theater Company, Stephanie Arrigotti. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here with you, Courtney. You always do a good interview.
Once more, you are bringing a fantastic production to Northern Nevada. Those who are familiar with the company's work will be really excited to come to Crazy for You this spring.
Oh, it's a great show. It's a great show. This is a Gershwin. And who doesn't love Gershwin?
Many songs in this that people are going to really be familiar with. They're going to
Someone to Watch Over Me, I've Got Rhythm, Slap That Bass, Embraceable You. Just nice work if you can get it, which is very similar to a show we just did. But fabulous orchestrations. This show was originally written, well, it wasn't really this show, but it stems from a show called Girl Crazy that Gershwin put out in the 1930s, and it was since made into several films. It made Ethel Merman an overnight star, Ginger Rogers an overnight star. So its early beginnings were very successful, but the show's age, they taste change. And so in 1990, some very gifted people took it over. They actually changed the plot. The original plot was about a guy who goes out to Arizona to start a dude ranch and ends up bringing in showgirls. But pretty much the only thing they kept from that plot was the showgirls.
Right, there will be showgirls.
There will be showgirls, fabulous showgirls. But with this new plot, there is a young banker from New York who is sent to foreclose on a property that's a theater in the middle of Nevada.
Hometown stuff.
Hometown stuff, yeah. I really had fun developing this set. And he falls in love with the theater owner's daughter and decides he just can't foreclose the theater. Besides, he always has wanted to be on stage. So he talks her into trying to save the theater by getting an audience to come to Dead Rock, Nevada. Now, trying to get an audience there, that was the first big joke, but he was determined. He was going to make this happen. And all of his showgirl friends from New York happened to be on vacation at that time, so he calls them all up and they all come to Dead Rock, Nevada, much to the delight of the Dusty Cowboys there. So there is this huge element of comedy that erupts because when she finds out that he's really from the bank that has come to foreclose on the property, she thinks he's playing a trick on her and he really just wants the theater for himself. And so she shuts him out of her life. And he is not going to be shut out of her life, so he decides to impersonate a New York producer, Bella Zangler. And once again makes a big entrance. Now he's Bella Zangler. And she ends up falling in love with
Bella Zangler.
The pseudo Bella Zangler, which of course ends up being a problem when the real Bella Zangler shows up in New York. Yes. And so, the show has fabulous one-liners. Fabulous one-liners. Very, very funny. Great comedy. Hilarious people in it. Very talented people in it. The showgirls are really pretty much the secondary stars of the show because they are in so many huge tap numbers. I've Got Rhythm lasts for like 6 minutes. It's like, is this ever going to end? But it's dancing. So exciting. And it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And the orchestration is fabulous. It's all been reorchestrated, and they've taken snippets from all these fabulous compositions of George Gershwin. They even bring in some of the concerto in F that they play. Pianists would kill to play that part in the orchestra pit. It only lasts for about 2 minutes, but it's amazing. And it's the backdrop for a big New York scene that's going on over the top of it. And we have a 17-piece professional orchestra coming in to play this, and that in itself you would just be happy to just sit and listen to them.
Listen to them play.
Yes, because the music is fabulous, but on top of that you have incredible dancing. And wonderful comedy. I mean, these people are all really good comedians.
Right. The timing is there.
The timing is fabulous. And so playing our lead, we have Cassia Giustra, who's playing the theater owner's daughter, Polly. And she was seen last year in Singin' in the Rain. She played the lead in that show. And Shepard Darkia, who was just seen in Mamma Mia as Sky, is playing Bobby, who is the banker from New York. A gal from the Lake who's not that familiar to Carson City audiences, but is very, very gifted, Rhonda Keene, is playing Bobby's wannabe fiancé. And she sings songs like Naughty Baby, and gosh, she really belts it out. She's really, really good. A new young man named Isaiah Williams plays a secondary lead of Lank, who wants Polly and is trying to get rid of Bobby. And then we have Eugene and Patricia Fodor, who are doing a tour and want to write for their tour book and add lots of comedy and sing the song Stiff Upper Lip. And they are being played by the very hilarious Jody Pazlov and Ann Black. And I mean, as soon as they come on stage, that you just look at them and they make you laugh. I don't know, there's something about Jody.
Jody's hilarious and has
one of these guys
been on stage before in many of your productions. He's in My
Yes,
Fair Lady.
yes.
He's been in a
Yes.
number of shows and always brings just a really great element.
He walks in and you laugh. There's just something about Jody. He is like one of the best comedians I have ever seen. And he opens his mouth and the whole cast erupts, you know, and you're going, okay, now we can't laugh this time because we're on stage. But I mean, he is just hilarious. And playing opposite Anne, the two of them are absolutely great together. And I get myself in this pickle because I worry when I leave that I'm going to forget somebody. But I'm going to have to apologize for that later. At any rate, the dance troupe is extraordinary. My choreographer, Gina Caskey Davis, I am so blessed. She is out of this world. And she has worked and worked and worked. There is so much dancing in this that it is just an overwhelming task for her and for the dancers. And as we speak, they are rehearsing.
I'm sure they are. People don't understand who come to the shows, I don't think. These are local people who like have jobs in Carson City or in Reno, and they're just incredibly talented, and they're here among us.
Well, they are.
And they are coming in and providing this gift to the community, but they rehearse in the evenings. They give up so many evenings for months leading up to one of these shows to put these together.
Now, they already have to be extremely accomplished to be cast. I mean, it's not an easy thing just to be cast. Many of them study dance for probably 10 to 15 hours a week, in addition to coming to the rehearsals.
Show, right.
Yes, and so they are on major competition teams, and Gina can actually set an entire dance number with people of this level of experience in 1 3-hour session, but none of them are going to be happy with themselves until they work it a lot more than that. And so there's an awful lot of rehearsing going on for everybody, and just trying to negotiate. I try to keep our rehearsals, if I can, down to 3 nights a week, because I don't want people to say I can't do a show anymore because I have no life. But trying to get in all the music rehearsals and the choreography rehearsals and the staging rehearsals, even it's been 4 months, you know, just trying to get it all in has been a huge challenge, and we've had to break our 3-night-a-week rule just to make it happen. But
the final product.
The final product is just incredible. It's just incredible.
Western Nevada Musical Theater Company has made a name for itself, not just here in Carson City, but regionally. People come over from California to come to these shows. People come from all over the region to come and watch this.
We have had to track our credit card sales. Because for a while we were getting grants, we ran out of the number of grants we could get from the Nevada Tourism Commission, and in order to, when we filled out a report, we had to say exactly where our audience came from, and we had to demonstrate that we brought in people from further than the immediate region. And so we tracked their credit cards, because everybody's credit card has to have the right zip code. And so we used that as a tracking device, and we learned for multiple shows that our audiences come from 20 states and Canada. Some of our season ticket holders drive up from the Bay Area. Some of our biggest donors are from the San Francisco Bay Area. So yes, this company reaches outside of Carson City, and it's interesting because the people in your own hometown never understand what they have. It's the people who are driving from hundreds of miles away.
People, don't realize what a fantastic job you do putting on these shows. They come and they're like, oh, that was great. Other communities don't have theater companies like this. You have to go to a big city to get this level of talent and this level of commitment and the sets and the costumes, and it's not your everyday community theater group.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I've gotten that feedback not only from cast who have moved to big cities saying, wow, we didn't know what we had. And also from audience members from big cities who donate to us because they would rather come to see these shows. And so I am very grateful for the kind words that people have put on our websites and written to us. It heartens us because, and I'm going to throw in my last 10 seconds, however many we have, that we finally have rehearsal facilities, and I am so excited. It is, after 29 years of living out of the trunk of my car, we now have, we have 2 rehearsal studios that are currently, as we speak, being installed with professional dance floors. They both have double door entries so we can leave our sets there and practice with our sets. We've been practicing with imaginary sets for a really long time. Imagine you're laying on a bed. Imagine you're tapping on a flight of stairs. Imagine, and that's really, really tough for people when they get there to the theater and then they have to layer all that in, and it changes everything. And so we are very, very, very grateful. And immediately next to those studios, we have a room large enough that we have been able to put all of our costumes in. I did get rid of 300 costumes, but we've been able to fit all of our costumes, which were stored in 4 different locations, and now they're in one room. And then we have a prop room, which is large enough to double as a dressing room. And so, wow, this is like a turning point for our company, and I'm so grateful to the college administration for giving us these facilities, and we want to make our shows even better, to say thank you for that. And so, yes, it's a great day for the company, and this will be a great day for Carson City, because when they come and see this, they will love it.
It's going to be a great show. Crazy for You is airing weekends in May the 10th through the 19th. Where can people go for tickets?
WNMTC.com. That's the initials for the Western Nevada Musical Theater Company. And if they're allergic to computers, they can call us at 445-4249.
And we should offer this to people as well. Crazy for You is coming up now. It's gonna happen in May, but people can buy season tickets too.
Yes, in November, we are actually the first in Northern Nevada to bring Matilda, which is a fabulous show. It's won Best Musical in like 7 countries. It's, it's just, I took my niece who lives in New York to Matilda thinking I was just being a good aunt. And I thought, I'm in for a night of boredom. This is like another Annie. And I was knocked off my seat. I said, wow, I had no idea this show was so good. And, it's like I should have paid a lot more attention while I was watching the beginning of this. But oh my gosh, if people are just thinking, oh, it's just a kid's show, they are totally off base, because this is a fabulous production.
So people should be aware of that. If you want to see Crazy for You in May, and you think you want to see Matilda in November, get those season tickets now, because the theater is revamped. It's beautiful. It's ready. You're not going to want to miss these shows.
And we've lost 200 seats.
That's right.
So we have some shows right now that are already just about sold out. And so you can't put it off like you used to put it off anymore. There are fewer seats. They're more comfortable, but you have to get on the stick and buy the tickets, because they're not going to be hanging around. You can't just say, I'll show up that day. You may be lucky if you come to the right performance if you show up that day, but no, you really need to buy ahead.
All right. WNMTC.com for tickets.
Thank you. Perfect.
Stephanie, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Cortney. I really appreciate it.
All right. And thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by Sassafras Eclectic Food Joint. Join them for brunch and Bingo with B, happening on Mother's Day at Sassafras. It's a fundraiser for Sassabration coming up this summer in Carson City. For more information or to buy tickets to the event, call the number on your screen. If your business is interested in sponsoring a future edition of It's Your City, please contact Darla at the address that is now on your screen. I'm your host, Courtney Bloomer. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.